So this is the brand new Galaxy Z Fold 5, and look, it's not much of an upgrade if you're coming from a Z Fold 4. In fact, if you have a Z Fold 4, no matter what I say in this video, do not get jealous. Do not upgrade this to this phone unless you get some sort of crazy deal and you're only paying like $50 more, because you're not gonna find that much of a difference in terms of the overall experience. Save your money if you have the option to do so. But if you are coming from a Fold 3 or earlier, you're gonna feel the difference with this hinge. The hinge is the major upgrade for this year's Fold 5, and when it's completely closed flat, it looks better, plus it feels better. You no longer have a slope on the display going down when you're typing. It feels a lot more natural, like a standard candy bar phone that most of us are used to. The other big change is they moved the location of the light from the bottom to the right side of the camera layout. The overall thickness has been reduced. It's consistent across, I think it's about 15 millimeters. And the weight is even better. Like the previous Fold 4 was 263 grams. The new Fold 5 is 253 grams. I think this is like a gram or two heavier than the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But the one thing I don't understand is people's complaints of how tall this phone is. It's not that tall. Like if you compare it to a iPhone 14 Pro Max, or even like the Nothing Phone 2, for example, both of these phones are taller. Like these are taller devices, you know? And maybe the biggest complaint really comes down to the layout of the outer screen. Like this is a screen that's very thin. It feels very remote-like. And I get it, you know, I'd prefer a slightly wider screen as well, because most of the time when I'm moving about, I'm using the outer display because I don't have time to unfold it. But when you do unfold the phone, there's a bit of a difference on the way it feels. It's using more of a droplet water style hinge, so there's less moving parts in here. It doesn't have that gap, so it's harder for dust to get inside. It's still IPX8, which means it's water resistant, but it's not dust resistant. And when you open it up for the first time, and if you felt what a Fold 4 or earlier feels like opening up, you're gonna notice a difference. Like it feels a lot more consistent throughout the entire opening process. With the Fold 4, when I'm opening it up, it's stiff, it's stiff, it's stiff, it's stiff.
That's what she said.
And then all of a sudden when I get to about here, it goes all the way open fluidly, okay? And because there's more gears and grinding going on, you can hear this open up. Like I'm gonna open it up for you and you can hear the difference between both of them. Now, the outer screen is the same display quality as the Fold 4, so you're not going to see a difference there in terms of the overall resolution or the actual brightness. It's pretty much identical. It's still using a 10 megapixel camera at the top. It's a pretty good camera. Like I have no major complaints. The biggest difference in terms of actual photo quality comes down to software processing. This new version of One UI 5.1.1 is making the photos a little bit more contrasty and obviously a lot sharper. So for a lot of you out there, you might actually prefer the look, but at the end of the day, it's the exact same sensor. So right now you're staring at the front-facing cameras of the Z Fold 5 and Z Fold 4. It's still the same megapixel count, but the difference could come down to some image processing on the Z Fold 5. It should be slightly sharper. You guys let me know which one looks better, and obviously which one has the better microphone. The other difference is the display. When you open this up and you open it up to the 7.6-inch display, it does look identical too. The crease size is exactly the same. Like no matter which one you use, you're gonna see the crease if you're moving it to certain angles. It's no bigger or smaller compared to the previous Galaxy Fold 4, so there's no benefits there. But what you are getting with the Fold 5 is a brighter panel. Like this guy can go up to 1750 nits compared to 1200 on the previous model. Now, button placement is the same. It feels exactly like the previous version. Even the power button's in the same location. Same with the microphones. The speaker quality, identical. I'm not seeing a difference there. But what I am seeing a difference in is battery life. Battery life on the Fold 5 hasn't been great for me so far. Now, maybe this will change over the course of a month while the battery does a better job of calibrating. But like 3 hours and 30 minutes of screen on time with about 30% battery life left is not too confident. Like I'd feel like if I'm using this pretty hard, I'd get some battery anxiety. Whereas the previous version, I was getting about the same. Like it was around 5 hours of screen on time as well. But Performance, day-to-day use, I'm not noticing a speed difference. Like the Fold 4 feels just as fast, even though it's using a slightly older processor. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy devices is a very quick CPU and it's very efficient, but I'm just not noticing a difference. Maybe you will if you play a lot of games. Now, if you are using the camera, I did find the Fold 5 to get pretty warm on the back compared to the Fold 4. It would just get noticeably warmer when I was touching it. And because of that, that's probably one of the reasons my battery was draining faster compared to the Fold 5. Camera quality is the same, like you still have a 50 megapixel wide lens, 10 megapixel telephoto lens, and a 12 megapixel ultra wide lens. The basic difference in terms of photo quality comes down to computational photography. Even though they're using the exact same camera lenses, I'm not noticing much of a difference. The Fold 5 tends to be a little bit more contrasty at times, but it is improving the way the photo looks by making it look a lot sharper. If you look at the edges of the photo, and I saw this with the Z Flip 5 as well, it's way sharper, way more cleaner than what the Fold 4 is producing. I found it was very soft in the middle, and then you had edges that were a little bit more blurred with the Fold 4. But color reproduction and photo quality are pretty much identical between both devices. Now you do get a 2x portrait mode on the Fold 5, which is not present on the Fold 4. Now, I don't think the Fold 4 is not capable of doing it. It's probably a software feature that's going to be coming out once they update the Fold 4 down the road. The other big difference comes down to nighttime photography. Again, we're seeing hardware improvements. This new Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 reduces the time it takes to take a photo. With the Fold 4, if it took 7 seconds, it only took 5 with the Fold 5. If it took 3 seconds with the Fold 4 to snap the nighttime photo, it would only take 1 with the Fold 5. So there's an improvement in terms of how long you wait. Video quality is pretty much identical. I'm not seeing a difference there, but just like with the Flip 5, you can now shoot QHD 30 with steady shot on compared to full HD 30 on the previous model. And the other slight twist is if you ever plan to shoot 8K video with either of these phones, the Fold 5 can now do 8K 30 while the Fold 4 is still stuck at 8K 24. Now, all the standard Fold software stuff is still present. Like you can put this in flex mode and then use the top display for something, then have controls on the bottom, for example. But one thing that I really like are these new cases from Samsung. So if you're someone who swears by the S Pen, for example, on the previous Fold, the S Pen would stick out quite a bit and would make the case feel way more bulky than it needed to be. Like, look at that. Like you have a seesaw on the previous Fold 4 case, right? But this new pen system makes a lot more sense. Like it's almost flat with the entire back of the case. Like when it sits on the table compared to this guy, like I don't know if you can see this, but it's almost flat. Whereas with the Fold 4, there is a huge slope and it just looks very, very awkward and takes up more space in your pockets. But I will say the previous pen on the Fold 4 is just so much better to hold. It's bigger, it's more confident when you write with it. The other pen is really, really thin. Like you push this little button to take it out and then it just feels like it's gonna break. So here's the thing, it's kind of a bummer they didn't improve more. Like I would have loved a wider cover display. I think it'd make the phone feel a lot more complete, but there's just not a lot of pressure for Samsung right now. Like here in Canada, this is literally the only foldable you can buy besides the Flip and Motorola Razr Plus. But there's so many beautiful designs from the Chinese OEMs that are perfectly flat, have better cover displays, but they lack the software experience that the Fold has, along with being properly water resistant. I will say if you're coming from a Fold 1, 2, or 3, you will find this to be a nice upgrade. But please, if you have the Fold 4, trust me, you're not going to see an overall difference in terms of how the phone feels and functions. It's going to pretty much feel identical, so maybe wait another year unless you're getting the deal of a lifetime. If you have any more questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.